The conventional deadlift is one of the best lower body and actually full body exercises that you can do. It's fantastic to do while you're trying to conceive, into first trimester and even into the beginning of second trimester, but at that point, as the belly starts to grow, it's going to get less and less comfortable to get to the bar in this position. So the conventional deadlift, it's going to look a little bit different for everyone depending on your training history, what sports you played, how tall you are, the length of your limbs, etc. The way that I generally like to teach it is starting with feet about in line with the hip bones. You're going to walk right up to the bar. You'll be maybe an inch or two behind it. You're going to hinge back into your hips, and I normally press back into my hips until I feel them kind of start to catch, and then I bend down and get the bar. But you'll notice when I squat down towards the bar, I'm not just like, you know, dropping my butt and squatting all the way down, okay? I'm hinging back into my hip as I squat down. So I push back, feel my hamstrings start to catch, and then I'm going to squat down as I continue to push my hips back. For most people, a good starting point is the hips about halfway between the knees and the shoulders. So in about this position. Some people are going to feel more comfortable with their butt lower. Some people are going to feel more comfortable with their butt higher. Keep in mind that changes the muscles that you're working and changes the lift a little bit, but you have to do what feels most comfortable to you. Again, in that position, as your belly grows, you're probably not going to feel as comfortable. So this is a trying to conceive first trimester and maybe a little bit into second trimester. Another great cue for getting down into the deadlift position is to tell someone to get into the short stop position. So put your hands on your legs, get into the short stop position, and you automatically just push back into your hips and maintain a nice neutral spine. Also, before I do it, I'm going to take a breath in, blow my air out, get my rib cage down, and then I'm going to breathe in again before I go. And I generally hold air while I'm doing the lift. Obviously, if you were pregnant, that's something that you really want to pay attention to. You might want to do like a light exhale on the way up and inhale on the way down. Generally, you want to keep pressure in your core while you're deadlifting, but that's something that you want to play with. Holding your breath, especially while you're pregnant, can be a little bit tricky. So that's something that you want to pay close attention to. So your feet are about hip width apart, about an inch or two away from the bar. I'm going to push back into my hips, bend my knees slightly. My butt should be about halfway between my shoulders and my knees. And then I'm thinking about pulling the weight back and drag it up my legs. Reverse the motion to set the weight back down. Pull back. You'll notice my upper back is nice and tight, okay? And I'm not jerking the weight off the floor. So I like to think of, if you've ever been like tubing or wakeboarding, the boat doesn't all of a sudden just jerk you and pull you, right? You get a little bit of tension on the rope first, and then the boat goes. Same thing with the deadlift. You don't want to jerk it off the floor. You want to get a little bit of tension. Think about almost pulling the bar apart with your hands. That will activate your lats and get your shoulders back and down and in a good position. So one more time, I'll show you. Breathe in, blow out, get the rib cage down, breathe in again. Depending on what feels good for you, it's going to control whether or not you exhale or whether you hold your air. Again, this is good for trying to conceive, first trimester, and maybe a little bit into the second trimester, and around that time you'd switch to something different. You want to pay attention to how the belly feels. If you're feeling too much pressure in your core or your pelvic floor, then you're either going too heavy or this exercise isn't for you.